Let's explore mountain biking in the Hurricane and St. George areas of southwest Utah. It's a fantastic area to bike. We'll start on the east side there with Gooseberry, Mesa, Gem, Guacamole, Little Creek, and move over to Quail Lake, also called the Boy Scout Trails, and down to Church Rocks, and finally we'll wrap up with Barrel Roll. We're riding the South Rim Trail on Gooseberry Mesa. This is fairly technical in places. Yeah, there's some nice, runs like this, but you've also got places where it's like a wall in front of you. You can see where people have hit their cranks and pedals on these rocks trying to climb them. So intermediates will probably walk all of this. Some advanced will be able to be strong enough to climb them. Lots of nice open slick rock to play with.
I don't want to hear that I can't, 'cause I can. I'm getting closer every day. Don't tell me I'm not when I know that I am.
And then we get back into some gnarly stuff. Beautiful here though, really exciting. Notice the little white dots, and here's another wall to climb.
'Cause you're in my way. It's the worst, but I know the drill. When there's a way, there's a will. You gotta get up, get up, get up. You gotta get out, get up, get tough. 'Cause winners never quit and quitters never win. There's no more giving up, no more giving in.
So while South Rim Trail has its many technical challenges, and especially if you're intermediate, you'll be getting off the bike frequently, it's a fantastic place to explore. Lots of fun. Great trail. A few miles along the South Rim Trail, we come to Hidden Canyon. And Hidden Canyon is a thrill. It's beautiful, it's exciting, and there's some really gnarly technical stuff in there to keep pretty much anybody busy. So there's the trail right straight ahead. That's where the dots go, and somehow guys climb that. I just walk it.
Get up, make up your mind. One more time. Won't sweat 'cause the future is in my...
But you've got some typical Mesa riding along there. Provides some relief and some flow between the technical parts. In this case, you can climb along. You just got to keep your head low right here because there's a rock going over your head. This place is really gnarly. I can't figure it out. Right in front of it, right along that traverse on that rock, is where the trail is, right here. And as you go a little farther, the rock is above where your head's supposed to be if you're trying to move along this trail, if you're trying to ride this trail here. Now that's a good, interesting traverse. Yep, even intermediates can ride that though. Bike tires hold real well on that slick rock, which is not slick, it's just sandstone. And remember that, like this wall right here, is actually bigger than it looks. The camera flattens it. And then we get to the end of Hidden Canyon Trail where it hits the road. Let's ride out White Trail, which is a four-wheel drive road, to the pointy end of Gooseberry Mesa, be the west end. Mostly this road's pretty easy, but there's some sand traps. When you get out here a ways, the views get to be spectacular though.
At least that's what I tell myself. Can't trip when it looks like they're moving to go. 'Cause crying isn't gonna help. My best is something to be. Never admit to defeat. You gotta get up, get up, get up. You gotta get out, get up, get tough. 'Cause winners never quit and quitters never win.
So we get on to North Rim Trail, and while it's mostly Mesa riding, you've also got some pretty gnarly stuff to deal with here and there. I'm trying to find the trail. I'm not sure if that's birched on the right or white paint. Anyway, you'll probably find the trails. A little bit of wayfinding problems, but not many. Then you're riding along the bluff. Really, really terrific. Looking down towards Hurricane and Virgin, that area. After some more dirt riding and some nice flow, we take White Trail back to the trailhead. And it's way overbuilt, but it's a great trailhead, and there's a nice toilet there. Over the Edge Sports Hurricane will take care of your mountain bike needs in this area. Let's check out the Zen Trail system. There's quite a few here. We're only going to hit just maybe 3 or 4. So we're going to start up Cryptobionic. And off to the left, and quite often straight ahead through this video, you'll see the side of Gooseberry Mesa. There's the goose there in the distance. Ahead is a cattle guard, and I hit that left post with my hand, and at this point there was a fingernail came off, and blood all over the trail. It was a big mess. Now we're on Goosebumps. And it's just kind of a flowy trail with lots of little ups and downs across dry washes, or usually dry washes. This is a good area to train beginners out here. Now we're going to head up Dead Ringer. Nice, isn't it? Bit of a climb as you get up on a mesa top. This isn't getting up on the goose, but it's moving that direction. And now we're looking down on Dead Ringer from the mesa and the west side of Zion. Big views up here on these trails when you get on top of the mesa. We're on more Cowbells Trail here. Now we head over to where this really nasty switchbacky traily thing is. Looking down into a deep wash we're going to drop into. And there it is. This is not intermediate. This is certainly advanced going down through here. Again, the camera kind of flattens things. The wide angle lens flattens it. But when you're on your bike and looking down this, it looks a lot more terrifying than it does in the camera. So it goes down. There's a couple of switchbacks. And then we zip down that wash down here. Look at that. You just let it loose, let it roll. Really fun. Every once in a while the trail goes out of the wash, back into the wash, back out of the wash, except Katya didn't notice the trail here going to the left, and she just kept going down the wash. There she is over there. I'm on the trail, and if you can barely see her through the brush there. So I'm following this rider down. We're going down the Zen Trails. We'll get back onto Dead Ringer, and then we'll head back to the trailhead.
There's no more giving up, no more giving in. So get up, get up, get up, get up, make up your mind. One more time, shut off those voices in your head. Give it some gospel.
Let's ride the guac. So as you leave the trailhead, you head on Guacamole Trail. And this slick rock's a little bouncy in places. And you're looking for cairns out there, these piles of rocks, to determine where the trail is. You also would look like where sand is, where you can see where their bike tracks are. Navigation, wayfinding along the Guacamole Trail is usually very good. But there's a few spots out on the Lollipop that will cause you problems. And it's a lollipop. It's got a trail going out to a loop. So it looks something like a lollipop. Here we're riding along the edge of the rim. A few little gnarly spots. Looking down towards Virgin. There's some nice drop-offs. Nothing too terrible on the stem of the lollipop. It does get challenging later. This spot's a bit of a challenge. Dropping into it's not bad, but getting up the other side, it's actually steeper than it looks. and you got to get a pretty good run at it, get over those rocks. Then we get out to the beginning of the loop. Make a left is the direction I tend to go. Other people make a right. The trees out here were burned in a fire some time ago. Now we're looking towards Zion, the west entrance to Zion, or west side of Zion, that is. And there is a cairn, and that little wall is part of the thrills of biking out here. I hike it, but I'm sure there's guys who ride it. Beautiful out here, really fascinating rocks. These guys actually got lost in a few moments, and I was up on top of a big rock looking around and eventually helped them find the trail. It was the wayfinding right in that area is quite hard. Yeah, it doesn't look that steep in the camera, but when you approach it on a bike, it looks pretty steep. But a little practice, if you just stick around a bit, try it a couple of times, an upper intermediate should be able to ride that. Now we've closed the loop, and we're going to head back to the trailhead. Leaving the Little Creek Mesa trailhead, heading out at the road here, just a short distance. We'll make a right up there and head back into the single track. Come out on some nice big slabs of slick rock. Now, wayfinding out here can be a big problem. In some places, there's cairns that are easily visible as you ride along. But in other places, you have to stop and look around, and there's a lot of those stop and look around. So locals had warned me that you could get lost out here. Well, I'm not going to get lost. I have GPS tracking, and I have a track on my GPS iPhone app. But it's a real pain in many places. I was frustrated frequently having to get off my bike, look around, get back on, and ride a little ways and stop and look around. Nice challenges out here, though. There's a few highly technical spots, but not much. Some good ramps. Then you get out to the edge of the mesa, big views towards Hurricane and Virgin. The road out here can be kind of nasty. It blew out a tire. A lot of washboard. So, we took it slow, but still nailed a tire. We went clockwise on the Big Loop Trail, and then took Magic Carpet Ride. And from here, we'll return to the trailhead. Quail Lake trails are also known as the Boy Scout trails locally, probably because they built them. So, leaving the trailhead, we do a bit of a climb up some switchbacks up through those rocks. And the day I rode this, it was blowing really hard. And I got blown off the trail and a couple times blown off my bike. And some places I just had to walk, the wind was so fierce. Here's a few little ramps to climb, a few little gnarly spots here and there on this trail going up. Got a tumbleweed that blew into my wheel. That stopped me quickly. Some of the gusts are probably hitting 50 miles an hour. So once you ride along the bluff a bit, then you drop down these normally great switchbacks, although this day it was really challenging. So sorry about the camera showing part of my bike there. It slid back and didn't notice it. So this is pretty fun stuff if you aren't getting knocked around by the wind.
I'm gonna sing a happy song today.
The trail shows on the map. There's supposed to be a trail right here, and it's not right there. It's not anywhere around. So it doesn't really exist yet. But eventually I found a bit of a trail farther up, and I had to climb up the ridge and get onto this one.
I'm gonna push those big dark clouds away. Don't want no misery piling on.
That's pretty gnarly little drop down to this wash. And then down to the wash itself is gnarly.
Telling me no, I'm gonna sing a happy song today. I'm gonna play a cheerful melody. Let that minor chord sneak in the key. No time for the blues, no sad tales, no bad news, no I'm gonna...
Beautiful colored rocks along here. And we get back towards the trailhead. And that's the trail we came up. The Prospector and Church Rock trails are right along the I-15 corridor, just outside of St. George. Nope, I didn't jump it. I hiked it. So we go up a little road, make a left, we hit some single track. Now we're heading down towards St. George. And there's a few little gnarly spots. I walked my bike through here so you can see it. If I rode it, it'd be a mess on the camera. You wouldn't be able to tell what's there. So there's a few little gnarly spots, but a lot of it is just wide open terrain. This area is recommended when it's been wet for a while. Look at this cliff. It's just a big drop off. I'm sure some guys are having a good time riding it, but I walked it. And that's, I think, pretty much the worst spot on this whole trail. So you just hike it. But there's other little spots. You're climbing up through some rocks. Usually there's a path, in this case right through the middle there. And then there's some sand traps. There's several sand traps along there. But if it's wet, then the sand is less of a problem. So I'm going to run this, I'm going to run the Church Rock loop on this trip. We're going clockwise. But I kind of think going counterclockwise would probably be a better route. But this is fun. And we're still down the lower part. We'll get up on that bluff to the right here in a few minutes.
Cheerful melody, give me peace of mind, a love so kind, smile on my face. Sweet, sweet water gonna wash my pain away. I'm gonna paint a picture of the sun shining down so bright on everyone.
Okay, we come down to a trail junction and take any of the trails. They all go to the same place. And we're going to climb up onto these bluffs up there. And it's pretty steep climbing from this side. It'd be a lot more fun to come down it, actually. There's a nice little wall. Again, more fun to descend. So this is a Church Rocks trail. We're off Prospector. We're climbing way up there. And there's Church Rocks. So you run along the bluff for a while, and then you descend this. And it's kind of a mess. So I think intermediates will be walking it. Locals probably ride it. Others, not sure what you're going to do on it. Beautiful Red Rock bike shop in St. George. One of my favorites there. East of St. George and Little Santa Clara, there are quite a few trails out there on a large incline Mesa type riding. But to get acquainted with the area, I recommend barrel roll. So we start out of the parking lot, make a right. I'd also recommend Zen Trail. The Zen Trail is a little farther east of here, or more south of here, I guess. And but it's also more advanced. Up along the bluff, it's pretty gnarly. We're not going to include it in this video. See, you got little spots, climbs, and so forth, and little walls and ledges along here, but mostly it's pretty intermediate, actually pretty easy. And then you start climbing up. And the same thing happens on Zen. You have to climb up through some rocks. Most of the time, it's pretty rampy, pretty easy, but there will be a few spots you might want to just get off and walk, depending on your ability. When you get up there, big views. Looking over towards Zion. Now we're up on getting up on the bluff, and it's getting much rockier up here. So there's a little pedal catcher to drop down through. And I'm going to walk this so the camera's on the bike, and I just hold the bike as a platform. Oh, there's wild and crazy lizards all over the place. And if I rode this, you wouldn't be able to see what's there, so I just walk it. But it's fun to ride, and there's quite a few places you can ride. This particular spot I will probably always walk. It's a pretty steep little area right in here. That's too gnarly for me. Then after passing through that, it opens up. And this is typical of the trails in the area. You get some gnarly stuff, and then you'll get some flow. You get some big views. I've been out here on a hot day, and it can be really, really hot out here. 115 degrees. So do this, it's totally exposed, so ride it early in the morning if it's hot. So you can see the trail out ahead, you just let it rip.